Through the Mayhem, the Silently podcast series, bringing marketing industry leaders together to discuss the ever-shifting media landscape. Learn about the ins and outs of real-time marketing, influencers, data privacy, technology, and so much more. All from industry experts with real experience, giving you the real answers. Now, let's break through the mayhem.
Welcome to Breaking Through the Mayhem. We have another incredible episode with somebody who I have the pleasure to know, Susu Grace. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Adam. It's good to see you and be here.
I know. We're so lucky to have you. Like, people who know you know how chill and cool you are. So, I don't know how I got you on this show, but you know what? We're going to take advantage of it. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Susu Grace. I'm one of the co-founders and head of experiences at Givsly, a values-driven startup here in the industry. I've been in the industry over 10 years now, and I love what I do, and I love getting to work with partners like yourself. On the personal side, I have a 16-month-old, so I'm a newer mom. Love it. It gets harder every day, but I'm so obsessed with Remy. So it's been an amazing part of my journey. And that's me. I live in Brooklyn, New York.
I love it. I'm actually from Brooklyn. You know, it's funny to watch. Everybody's in Brooklyn now.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. So let me kind of take us back a little bit to the early days.
Yeah.
Like when you guys were starting Givsly, first, how did you meet your co-founders? And then second, what problem were you seeing in the industry that you thought, all right, I got to do this?
Yeah. So I met Chad, Givsly's CEO, at a former ad tech company. They were called XAd. Now they're Ground Truth. He was the CRO leading sales, and I led our events team. So we had worked a lot together at that role. And then when we had started Givsly, I was introduced to Loda, who's our head of product and our other co-founder. But really the whole reason behind Givsly was the experience we had had at this former company, where we incorporated values into our strategy, very plain and simple. If we were on stage talking about location, we would say how it actually saved lives by powering Amber Alerts. Or on the experiential front, very plain and simple, we took clients out to volunteer. So for us, when we were thinking of starting something, and, Chad came to me, he was like, the industry is not doing enough of this. And I think we saw firsthand how impactful it was to build relationships with clients that had a real impact on the business through volunteering. But the issue with the industry was that HR and CSR teams were really the only groups in charge of budgets for purpose and give it back. And, try telling a CFO, we need more money for donations if you're not a revenue driving team for your company. So that really sparked us to create tools and experiences for sales and marketing teams, not only to help them drive business, but ultimately that has now had a profound impact on community, where we've sort of transferred the budgets that sit in sales and marketing into over $4 million in donations for nonprofit. So I think because we had sat in the shoes of a lot of the partners we work with, we really just saw the need to connect through values and sort of redirect a lot of what HR and CSR teams were doing to those sales and marketing teams.
That's awesome. And you guys are doing it great. I mean, you're 7 years in, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel like a lifetime?
It does, but also no time, which is crazy because I'd only been at the prior company under 4 years, and that felt like a lifetime. And I feel like I blinked here. So it's wild.
I get it, because when you're running something, it's like yours.
Yeah.
And I know that feeling because I've run events before where you see an event come together the way you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as you don't want to, you want to be like, I did this.
Yeah.
But you also, you want to just keep getting to the next one.
Yeah.
Right. So ultimately, what's one belief you've had at the beginning of Givsly that's been validated for you, and one that has totally changed?
Yeah. I think a belief that from the start has really been our North Star is that values and business growth go together. I think that has always been something we've, evangelized in the industry. And we used to call it purpose and profit. I think purpose is a little bit of a fluffy word to companies. And we had kind of seen, some people want to bucket us into HR and CSR if we use the term purpose. But ultimately, with everything we've built, it is to show the industry that if you're incorporating values into your strategy, there is a business benefit. So I think that belief has very much been from the start, and we've never really wavered. Um, but that's not to say like we didn't quite nail maybe market fit at first. If you know OG Givsly, we even had another name, but we had built a platform for professionals to connect, basically booking meetings by making donations. And again, they're in concept of values and business growth, but certainly, it's really hard to build a marketplace. So I think we've been nimble to pivot along the way, kind of with that one belief that has, been with us the entire time.
I love that. So Givsly is built around the idea that experiences that can do good, right?
Yeah.
And obviously you've proven that value-based experience resonate so deeply. What do you think is actually driving that? You think it's the individuals that show up, the companies, the way the events are put together? What do you think is like the core that makes these things so successful?
Yeah, it's obvious that, you know, in this current moment in history, things are negative and the world feels heavy. And I think sometimes we can all doom scroll depending on what our values are and what we believe and what we're seeing is going on. But also, and crazy enough, because we started this company under the current administration 7 years ago, what we used to say was that people can no longer look towards government and religion to help communities. They look towards businesses. And so I just think sometimes businesses don't know what to do or take action. Sometimes it's sort of like, what do you support? What do you not support? And so I think with our events and why it resonates, there is an outlet for businesses to be like, okay, this event supports a number of causes. Yes, like whether it's animal welfare or childhood cancer, like those are things maybe you can't argue that you support, but also there is positivity and hope. And we come together as humans, like on top of it, right? Where it's just a moment to feel good. And so I think not only showing up with people that are like minded and just feeling like you're actually able to like take action because all of our events have donations incorporated. I think that are a couple of reasons why it's probably resonating so well right now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, having fun, smiling with other people
Yeah.
is always great. And like you said, I mean, causes that you can if you debate, there's something wrong with you. Uh, but I think more importantly, I think one of the things I love about the event is that they're just fun,
Yeah.
you know? So Sightly got a chance to partner with you guys on your karaoke for causes and great donation dunk. First of all, you helped me meet Clyde Frazier, so
Yes,
thank
I did.
whatever I could give back,
Yeah.
at that, was so cool. So thank you for doing that for me.
Yeah, of course.
But what do you think makes those experiences so effective? Like I think obviously from my vantage point, it's the fun,
Yeah.
people getting outside of their own comfort zone.
Yeah.
But what have you guys kind of learned that makes those so effective?
Yeah. So what we say is that it's really emotion that's the differentiator. I think what's the saying that like people remember how you make them feel. And so I think, and you've been to these events, they are unique experiences. I mean, the donation dunk one that you mentioned was our take on an inclusive sporting event. So we wanted, no matter if you were participating and playing in the basketball challenges or just watching, like you felt like you belonged. Um, so we're bringing people together, connecting as humans, really as the catalyst to then do business, right? So if you come to this event that feels unique, that you're having a lot of fun, that at the end when we announced we raised $25,000, that feels really good. So, when our partners then are doing follow-ups with, clients that they met, someone new, you send a photo, you call out something really amazing, like when Mo Bamba came down to challenge the three-point winner. Like, that's crazy moment. That stands out from just another dinner or sports game or a concert. Like, that is a way to then do better business together. And so I think we even see it ourselves, like in the last 7 years, where our relationships with people in the industry are so strong because of our events. And so I think that's why it works, because we've really built this community that really shares in that and the emotions they feel and how they walk away.
I couldn't agree more. Shifting gears, away from the events, you said this earlier. I mean, you're a co-founder, right? You're a leader, you're a mom.
Yes.
Where would you say that being a mom has shaped the way you build and lead Givsly over the last year and a half plus?
Yeah. It's interesting because before I had my son Remy and went on maternity leave, I was like, am I going to change? I don't think I'm going to change. Will I change? And I definitely did. I think prior to having my son, I was definitely a workaholic. I love my work and it was always a very huge part of my identity. We used to joke, like, if I was awake, I was working. Um, I think I also felt like the more I worked, the more impact there was, you know, being had. And so that was very important to me. But I never really understood a boundary. And so I think once I had Remy and I was like, what do you mean I'm off for 4 months? I can't be off for 4 months. And I had him and I was like, oh, wow, yes, like I want this time. I need this time. And I was ready to come back. But I think what had to happen was a balance. And it's not that I um, couldn't have had that before, but like now my mornings are with Remy and my nights are with Remy. I have no choice. I have to get him by 5:30 from daycare and I love that. And now like my mornings and my nights are like my time with him. And so I love what I get to do during the day, but it's made me like efficient like crazy. I don't like wasting time. I don't want to waste anyone else's time. I want to make quick decisions, make sure my team has what they need to go run off with things. So I think, it's sometimes maybe I'm, just quick to try and get things done, but I would say it's also made me more focused in like what's important to Givsly and to the business and to what I need to get done. And so I love, this maybe more efficient way I'm using my time since becoming a mom. I think what do they say? If you need anything to get done, give it to a mom because we're good with juggling things and getting shit done. So I would say that's definitely something I've noticed in past 16 months.
I mean, that's a beautiful answer, because a lot of the time when I ask executives that question, they're like, people always ask me that and they don't have an answer. And I'm like, but then why are you saying people always ask you that?
Yeah.
So I think ultimately the reason I love to ask those questions is people want to learn from people that are going through experiences that they're going through.
Hmm.
And I think that example of efficiency is such a good one, right? You
Yeah.
kind of put boundaries around your time so that you can execute in your best behavior.
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Well,
In
thank
terms of like leadership around you,
Yeah.
how has your team adjusted to your change?
Yeah, I feel like my team is, respectful. We all also, I would say, as a startup, we all work so much and we know we do. So, kind of come the nighttime or even early morning, I think everyone's pretty respectful that no matter if you have kids or not, you have a life. You either have a pet or you have just things going on. Like, before kids, I feel like my day was packed too. So, I think everyone's always respectful of each other's time, really like outside of maybe 9 to 5. But again, it's like it just comes down to communication. Something that I love that we do at Givsly is a mental health day where, because, you know, you could say you have unlimited PTO. Are your employees really going to take it? And if you are going on a trip, trips are exhausting. Sometimes you just need a day to not be traveling and just to take yourself on a walk or on a lunch or, for me, get like a facial when your kid's in daycare. So I think even respecting that sometimes we all are just humans who work really hard together, that sometimes you just need a minute. So what can I cover for you? Great. Your mental health day is Friday. What can I do? Is it a call? Is it moving the needle forward on this project? So I think it just comes down to respecting each other and what we all need, because we all work a lot for this company because we care so much. And so just making sure that we're respectful with each other's boundaries.
That's such a great answer. I mean, in terms of like advice then,
Yeah.
shifting there, what advice would you give people that are currently thinking about timing and balance and all the things that you are? Because you're clearly in a perfect environment to make it happen,
Yeah.
right? So what would be your advice for people that are in a tougher environment?
Like, advice just on like how to manage everything. Yeah. I mean, I think the hardest part for me, I think you have to like the people you're working with, and sometimes you don't have the choice of who your manager is or who the people are working for you. But I think if you have allies that you can open up to about what your boundaries are, or I know sometimes companies have policies that are rigid in either work from home days. But if you have an ally that you can be honest with and what you need, to then be the most successful full person at work, I think anyone you talk to vulnerably about that wants you to be set up for success, is definitely something to keep in your back pocket. Because I think if you're not feeling like you're at 100% showing up for work, then you're not going to be productive and efficient for the business either. And so I think at least having an ally that knows what you need, whether it be certain days from home or specific calls or like whatever it might be, I think just understanding what you need in order to be your most efficient self at work.
I love that. I mean, that's just how I think. Siley has no offices, so I don't even have to think
No
about
commuting time to waste on. Yeah.
no. And we're more productive,
Yeah.
right? But ultimately, a lot of it is about leadership. So I love that you give back what's given to you.
Yeah.
How big has the team become now?
We're 12 people now.
Damn. Doesn't that
Yes,
feel like an army after it was only
it
2,
does. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Chad and I joke about a lot how we just used to, like, dance around the city, just us 2, being like, "What are we gonna do today?" And now it's like, "Oh, wow, no, we're accountable to people now," and it's pretty wild.
Well, listen, it's been awesome seeing your guys' growth and watching you guys win. And, one thing I know is that you haven't changed throughout that process, which is awesome. Yeah, you're using your time more efficiently,
Yeah.
but you're still you. And I think that's awesome. So
Mm.
shifting gears here at the end, I always like to ask this question. If you can go to dinner with one person who's not your family and is alive, who would it be?
Who's not alive,
Who
not
is
my
alive and not your
oh, oh,
family?
is alive and not my family. Does she get this a lot, like Michelle Obama? Like
That's your choice. Everyone has their own person.
yeah, I'd say she, is someone who I would be, like, so starstruck if I ever saw her in person. I think the nostalgia of having her on our screens, a decade ago, um, she probably has a ton of wisdom for, a woman navigating being a mother and a leader, and so, I would say her.
That's awesome. Where would you guys go?
Can we get the reservation? Because if it's in New York, I would say, like, Teresi.
Wow.
So if I
I'm
don't have
sure
to
she can get in there.
yeah,
She
or
can.
hey, if Fort Charles, throw that in there. Um, yeah, one of those places that I can't get my own reservation at.
And what would you order?
Well, so Teresi, I've been a couple times, but I've had to, you have to stand in line at like 3 p.m. on a Sunday. And I think their tortellini is crazy. I'm a pasta queen, so I love that. And then for Charles, I have also been to a decade ago prior to it being impossible. You still have to stay up till midnight to get a 5 p.m., but you could do it. And
I would think with all your Givsly connects, you can go wherever you want now, you know?
you'd think, if you could make it happen, but yeah, I mean, yeah, that burger is iconic, and they bring out the glove and do that thing, so
I
but
love
there
that.
yeah, the list goes on. I'm a foodie, so
Well, listen, it was so nice having you. Thanks for giving the audience a little bit about how you think, what you think about, and how you do it. And hopefully you'll keep killing it. We're rooting for you.
no, thank you. Well, we love partnering with you and the Sightly team, so thank you for having me, and just looking forward to a great year.
All right, take care, everyone.
Hey, I'm Chris, one of the producers for Sightly's Breaking Through the Mayhem podcast. We want to thank you so much for subscribing to the show. If you'd like to learn more about the guests we had on today, we included additional information about them in the show notes. Finally, if you'd like to be on the podcast, or if you know someone who'd make a great fit, you can fill out the form at sightly.com/podcast. Catch you on the next episode.